CH3COH molecules will dissociate to give CH3CO minus and H plus. Again, these two will react back to give the molecule. And you can see in saturated solution, some of the sugar molecules will remain as it is without dissolving. You just have to multiply the molar concentration of the ions raised to their appropriate powers. That's called as the ionic product. More amount of CH3COOH molecules will be formed and the dissociation of this will be suppressed. It will not undergo further dissociation. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the last session on the chapter equilibrium. Last class we studied about the buffer solution and we solved some of the numericals. Today we shall learn about the common ion effect and also about the solubility product. Now what is the meaning of common ion effect? For example, we have a weak electrolyte. Okay? The weak electrolyte, we know that it undergoes partial dissociation. Yes? Now for this weak electrolyte solution, I am going to add a strong electrolyte. Strong electrolyte such that the ions produced by the weak electrolyte and the strong electrolyte, one of them are common. Then what happens is the weak electrolyte dissociation gets suppressed. This is called as common ion effect. If you have not understood, I shall explain with an example. For example, I have acetic acid, that is CH3COOH. It's a weak electrolyte which is giving CH3COO minus and H plus ion. Correct? So, first CH3COH molecules will dissociate to give CH3CO minus and H plus. Again, these two will react back to give the molecule. So, now the system is at equilibrium. For this solution, I will add a strong electrolyte like HCl, which will give H plus ion and Cl minus ion. Now, if you see that in both the solution, H plus ions are common. Now, when I added HCl, the molar concentration of H plus ion increased. So, the weak electrolyte now reacts, the H plus ions of the weak electrolyte reacts with CH3CO minus and prefers backward direction reaction. Backward reaction is favored and more amount of CH3COOH molecules will be formed and the dissociation of this will be suppressed. It will not undergo further dissociation. More amount of acetic acid molecules we have than acetate ions and H plus ions because I added a strong electrolyte with common ion here. This is called as common ion effect. Now, why exactly it is suppressed, we'll understand with one more example. Okay? So, before I go into the example, what is the definition? The suppression of degree of dissociation of a weak electrolyte by adding a strong electrolyte having common ion is called as the common ion effect. Okay? Now, example also, we have considered same thing, that is acetic acid. Okay? So, it will undergo partial dissociation. Now, for this one, once the system is at equilibrium, we'll add or we'll apply law of mass action. So, I'll get as K is equal to molar concentration of acetate ion into molar concentration of H plus ion divided by molar concentration of acetic acid. Now, for this one, a small quantity of CH3CONa is added. So, CH3CO minus ion increases. So, what was K value? K was CH3COO minus into H plus divided by CH3COOH. This was the equilibrium constant. Now, the system which is at equilibrium, for that what did I add? I added CH3COONa. Now, CH3COONa will undergo complete dissociation to give CH3CO minus plus Na plus. Now, this ion is common with the acetic acid. Correct? No. Acetic acid, what did I get? I got CH3COH, which dissociated to give CH3CO minus and H plus. So this is common. Correct? So what happens is, in order to keep K constant, now molar concentration of CH3CO minus increased. But equilibrium should not be disturbed and equilibrium constant should be kept constant. For that reason, what will happen? H plus should decrease and COOH must increase. So, to keep this constant, when this decreases, even H plus should decrease and CH3COH should increase, so that the ratio is maintained and equilibrium constant will remain constant. Okay? Therefore, degree of CH3COH dissociation is suppressed. Same thing will happen if I add HCl or any other strong electrolyte containing common ion. So what will happen? CH3COH, H plus and CH3CO minus, it will give addition of CH3CO minus shifts the equilibrium, reducing H plus ion and increasing CH3COOH, just to keep the equilibrium constant. Okay, so that is why the suppression of the degree of dissociation happens. I hope you have understood now. Next, we are going to study about the solubility equilibrium of sparingly soluble salts. Now, what is solubility of a salt? For example, I take a cup of water and add 1 spoon of sugar. It will dissolve. For the same cup of water in which I added 1 spoon of sugar, I'll add 1 more spoon of sugar. Again, it will dissolve. So, I'll add 3 or 4 spoons continuously. At one point of time, at that particular temperature, that is at room temperature, the sugar will stop dissolving. And that time we call it as a saturated solution. Correct? So, before that it was an unsaturated solution. And you can see in saturated solution, some of the sugar molecules will remain as it is without dissolving. Correct? So, if I have to tell, for every substance which is soluble in a particular solution, okay, what happens is, there is a fixed amount of the solute which can go into the solvent. You cannot add more of the solute into the solvent at one particular temperature. They become saturated. Maybe sugar, lot of sugar you can add for water, but if you take some other substance, very small quantity, when you add only, it will become a saturated solution. So this is called as solubility of a solute in a particular solvent to form a solution. So every substance, okay, or every salt has a characteristic solubility which depends on the temperature. So at a particular temperature, a salt can dissolve in water only up to a certain extent. Only small quantity or a huge quantity can dissolve. Based on this, salts are of 3 types. More soluble salts whose solubility or its concentration is greater than 0.1 molar. Okay. Slightly soluble salts in which the molarity is between 0.01 to 0.1 molar. And sparingly soluble, that means very small quantity soluble, that is, its molarity will be less than 0.01 molar. So, based on their solubility, salts are of 3 types. Now, if I take a sparingly soluble salt, that means very small quantity of that salt is can be dissolved in a solvent to form a solution. That's why it's sparingly soluble. Kashtadal dissolve agutte. Very small amount will be dissolved. When very small amount is dissolved only, it becomes a saturated solution. Okay. So, in a saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt solution contains both ions and undissolved salt. Okay. Therefore, there is an equilibrium which is established in such system, and this is called as solubility equilibrium. For example, if AB is the sparingly soluble salt, what is it? It is sparingly soluble salt. AB, it will dissociate to form A plus and B minus ion, very small amount. Again, these two will react to give back AB. And in the saturated solution, you have the undissolved salt and the ions of the salt. Correct? And an equilibrium is established. This equilibrium is called as the solubility equilibrium. Okay? So next we are going to study about the solubility product or solubility product constant. So what is this solubility product? Now I'll consider a saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt. Okay? AB. So in this system I have some amount of salt which is undissolved, some is dissolved to give the ions, and there is an equilibrium which is established. For this one, if I apply law of mass action, K is equal to molar concentration of A into molar concentration of B divided by molar concentration of AB, which is a solid. So this one, equilibrium constant into molarity of AB is called as KSP, which is called as the solubility product of the sparingly soluble salt, which is equal to molar concentration of A plus ion into molar concentration of B minus ion. Or we can define solubility product as solubility product is equal to product of molar concentration of the constituent ion raised to their appropriate powers in a saturated solution of sparingly soluble electrolyte at a given temperature. Okay, here you do not have any powers because it is equal to 1. So, what is the solubility product? Solubility product is equal to the product of the molar concentration of the constituent ions raised to their appropriate powers in a saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt at given temperature. Okay, so that is the definition of solubility product. Next, we learn the solubility product of different types of electrolytes. We have the salt AB2 or the electrolyte type AB2. When AB2 dissociates, what I will get? AB2, when it dissociates, I get A plus 2 ion and 2 B minus ions. Correct? So, solubility product will be molar concentration of A plus 2 into molar concentration of B minus to the power 2. That is, there is a stoichiometric coefficient. Similarly, for A to B type, it will be A plus to the power 2 and into B minus 2 minus. Correct? Next, for AB3 type, I'll write here AB3 type, that is A to the power plus 3 and I get 3B minus ions. So, it will be A molar concentration of A plus 3 into B minus to the power 3 because stoichiometric coefficient is therefore B minus. Similarly, for AB4 type, it will be A to the power plus 4 plus B minus into 4. And solubility product you can write this way. Same way, A3B4 type, what it will be? A3B4. So, you are going to get A plus 4 and B3 minus ions. But how many of A plus 4 I have? 3. B3 minus I have 4. So, for this A plus 4 to the power 3, B3 minus to the power 4. This is the solubility product. So, you need to know to write the solubility product of at least first 3 types. These 3 types of salt. Okay. So, next is solubility product expression. How do you express the solubility product? So, again I am going to consider a saturated solution of a sparingly soluble salt and the system is at equilibrium, that is AB giving A plus and B minus. For this one, I'll consider S moles per dm cube be the solubility of AB. So, what is solubility? S moles per dm cube. So, it gives S moles of A plus and S moles of B minus is given. Correct? Thus, solubility product is molar concentration of A into B, that is S into S, which is equal to S square. So this is the expression for solubility product of AB type of a salt. Okay. So in this expression, what are we relating? In this expression, which relates the solubility and the solubility product of an electrolyte is there. So this is solubility product, this is solubility of a salt. Okay. So next we can write the solubility expression for the others. For AB2 type, A plus 2 into B minus to the power 2. So S into 2S whole square, that is 4S cube I will get. Now why is this 2S if you ask? See, AB2 type, when it dissociates, I'll get A plus 2 and 2B minus. So this is solubility is S, this also will be S, this is 2 into S, that is why here it is 2S. Okay. Similarly, for A to B type, you can see A to B type, it will form A minus, A plus of 2 and B2 minus. So if this is S, this is 2 into S and this will be S. Correct? So it is S into 2S whole square, that is 4S cube. Similarly, AB3 type, you can see AB3 type, it will be A plus 3, 3B minus. So if this is S, this will be S and this will be 3S. So it will be S into 3S whole cube, that is 27S to the power 4. Okay. So this is called as the solubility expression. Okay. Next is about ionic product. What is ionic product? It is a product of molar concentration of the constituent ions raised to their appropriate powers in any solution of an electrolyte. It need not be a supersaturated solution or an system at equilibrium. It can be any solution. You just have to multiply the molar concentration of the ions raised to their appropriate powers. That's called as the ionic product. But solubility product is applicable for those in which it is a sparingly soluble salt and there is an equilibrium, isn't it? So here solubility product principles, if you see, that is how is solubility product and ionic product related. See, if you want to make out whether there is a precipitate formed or not, okay, then if you see, if ionic product is less than the solubility product, it is an unsaturated solution which is formed and precipitation does not take place. Okay. When ionic product becomes equal to the solubility product, it becomes a saturated solution and precipitation again does not take place. Only when ionic product is greater than the solubility product, it becomes super saturated solution and the precipitation takes place. So for a precipitation of a solution to take place, what should happen? The ionic product should exceed the solubility product. Only then it is possible. Okay. So that's about the ionic product. Next, we will solve a numerical based on this. In a saturated solution of silver chromate, it is found that Ag plus concentration is 5 into 10 power minus 5 molar and CrO4 minus, that is chromate ion concentration, is 4.4 into 10 power minus 5 molar. Calculate the solubility product of the salt. Now, silver chromate Ag2CrO4, which will dissociate to give 2Ag plus and CrO4 2 minus. Solubility product Ksp is equal to Ag plus to the power 2 and CrO4 2 minus. So what is the molar concentration of Ag plus? 5 into 10 power minus 5 whole square into 4.4 into 10 to the power minus 5. So 5 5s are 25, 25 into 4.4 is 110, 110 into minus 5 into 2 is minus 10. Minus 10 and minus 5, if you add up, it was minus 15. Move 2 points and you can write it as 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 13 mole cube per dm to the power 9. So this is the solubility product of the silver chromate solution. So I hope you have understood about how to solve the solubility product problems. So next I'm going to start with a new chapter, organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. Okay. So thank you my dear children. Stay tuned, stay focused.